Hi, Chris. Yeah, nice to see you guys. Behind the screen, of course. But yeah, I'm excited to talk about and yeah, review some games from my own Canadian Open. Excited to see all the players. I am, yes. Yeah, it's pretty far. I have been once when I was younger. Yeah, just as a pure tourist. Yeah, if I weren't so busy, I definitely would have joined that as a player, and that would have been really fun. I think. Yeah, Halifax is a great place. Yes. Ooh, that is what they're known for. Mhm. Yep. Okay. Let's go then. So we're gonna look at the game between PC Hsiong and Dohop Kim first. I don't know player Black very well, but I do see that he's a seven dan, and I do I have reviewed or I have seen games by Kim. I believe he has been traveling a lot and been to many different Go Opens across the world, including I think Europe and US. So I think he's definitely made a name for himself um, over the past few years. So, anyways, let's look into the game. So this all looks very standard. Looks like both players are pretty playing very solidly. And these Josekis are are very normal and quite simple. Not many variations. White is definitely playing with territory in mind, with his stones on the corners. So very interesting. And yeah, let's continue. So black tries to invade on right, left, bottom left corner, and because yes, that is the biggest part where you can look to remove some of the other player's territory. And these are quite pretty standard moves. Again, white is looking to erase black's eye here with this move. Let me see if I can get a number in. But yes, with this move on the f3, I think overall, yeah, it looks like white style is just trying to get territory while attacking, playing very stable game. Black aims to spice things up with this invasion on l3. It's a good move. I think if black just tries to run out like this, I think is not necessarily good for black because white will be able to erase the his black's moyo on the right side, and black still is not completely safe yet. So I think the counter attack is good. So this move is so they get into a fight because white is not happy to just play L4 because now black can go underneath on the second line, and now white is the one that does not have eyes. Black can come out this way, and this is not a good exchange for white. So what white did is play here. So this is good. I think the main, a lot of times, like just one side, one invasion can determine the whole outcome of a game if one side plays, badly, right, or makes a big mistake. So let's see if something happens here. So again, white ends up with territory. It's not a lot, but again, white is, getting all his groups safe, and while black is getting the influence and Moyo. This jump is critical at N5 to be able to try to erase black's Moyo, or else, let's say white plays something else, then this attach on N4 is too big, because all of this is black's now. It's very hard to invade. So let's keep going. I think this move by black is too weak. It is not strong enough. I think that may be where white has started to gain an advantage. I think black should play a move around this area to try to, maybe around here, to try to capture this white stone. Actually, maybe when we even go further back, I think black can just capture the stone here because it's a favorable ladder. And if white plays like this, it's not like white can capture black stone easily. And this may be better for black. Yeah. So I think by with black playing here, and now white can extend out of his one stone, and now black is in a bit of a trouble because now we see that white is safe on the bottom, and white is getting stronger at the middle as well, and black does not have any. Black actually becomes the weak side. So all of this exchange is good for white because now, yeah, black has no influence now, and he didn't even manage to reduce many points on the left side of white, or bottom side of white. This white move is quite interesting. Let's keep going. Yeah, so now it's just a big fight. Yeah, this is a very hard game for black now. I think black might think that white's probe on D13 is a bit too deep, and black wanted to punish that, right, by going overhead on F13 to try to kill this white stone. But the problem is this stone actually has a lot of agi and is very flexible. So what white did at this, so white plays here first to reinforce the stone. I think with this, I think what black should probably do is actually play here instead of D8. With D8, white stone is still very alive, and that's the problem. Now white can cut off black's access and still get out. Now black is in trouble again. Black has no points here, and not even completely two eyes yet on the bottom group. And now when white pushes here, black can't even do this because now this cut is very painful. Well, black will come back eventually, but this is looking pretty grim for black already. So what black did is try to create some chaos by cutting white's group. So this is always a good strategy to do when you think you're in trouble, or at least you've lost control of the board, right? You're definitely not the one in control. Then you try to spice things up, right? With more groups at stake, there's more chaos, and with more chaos, there's more chances that your opponent makes mistakes, right? So it's always a good strategy. So with that, with the cut, black now goes here and blocks. But again, white's move here is at h13 is very calm. And now black has to go back to his cut to protect his cut. Wow. So this move by black tells me that he's desperate. If he's not desperate, he wouldn't have played here and let the stones here be cut and taken away. This is too big on the upper left side corner, way too big. And black does not have, to be honest, anything to attack white's middle group. It's very hard to attack this. The board is too open on the top right side. I think black probably still should have connected. But I think he's definitely not happy about this situation. So he's trying to not fight, right? It's good that he has a fighting spirit. But I definitely would have held back and connected here. Or even connected, actually, I probably would have connected here instead. Because white can't do this right now. There will be this cut. So white has to go back. And now black has the choice of doing this, right? Always has the timing. And with this move here, white might probably have to hane to keep the corner alive. And now I think we still have a game. Oops, let me go back. So at this point, with black playing, getting the center two pieces back, I think this game is very, very hard for black. Oh, and now white gets to just take more of black's stone. So now if black plays here, white can just take this one stone, and black just lost the 4 stones at the bottom. The problem with this 4 stones is that it's worth a lot more than just 8 points. It makes the white center group alive. And now what is the point of taking these 3 stones back? It's pointless, right? Every single white's group is alive. So now black is getting desperate. Trying to fight a ko, trying to start a ko in the corner. But this game is looking grim. I think we can just keep going now. Yeah, this game is over. We can see that. Yeah, I think we can switch. Yeah, so I think the whole game is just black has a little too different of a strategy going into the game. He tries to go for influence, but in the middle, he kind of stopped and let his stones become too weak. And when he tries to attack again, the initiative is not on his side anymore, and he's unable to get anything from it. And Kim's play is very stellar, very, very solid. He plays very stable, and you can't really kill him when he has the initiative or his stones are already pretty thick. Yeah. So this game is over. All right. Yeah. Let us go to the next game now. With let me see, with Leo Tan. I think the current um highest best player, and Zhang Fu. Yep. Yep. All right. All right. Let's look at this game now. With the I believe the current higher standing player Leo and Zhang Fu in the morning. Let's get started. So this game started off again with a very common Joseki. We see this upper left side variation so many times, and the right side. There's already two on the same board. This move by black is quite interesting. The 3-3 corner. Um, I think I might have placed something like this instead, but I can understand why black played in the corner, because he's looking to get a Sente and play on the top side. Yeah. So this variation by itself is slightly better for white, especially because if you look at it, white is very strong on the left side, and now he is the entire shape on the left side is very good for white. Not many stones, very thick, and black really can't do much to affect this, or even to just to invade in the future is very difficult. But I think to get this move is still pretty good. So overall, I think it's still a pretty even game. White plays here. Looks like Leo is also playing quite safe. I think he knows that he is, his style is also pretty stable. This is an interesting peep. I think this variation is not bad for black. It's pretty good for black. So I am not too sure about this peep. I think I personally would have just went back. Maybe play something like this. But maybe I think white is afraid of black's moyo because it is building up quite nicely. So I guess that's what white's afraid of. We can keep going. I think this move by black is pretty good. It's pretty good. Pretty much destroys the entire white left side, and still very strong. Still managed to build up the moyo anyways, right? The thick influence. And he gets the Sente, and he plays here. Very good, very solid move. So at this point, I think actually black is leading a little bit. White has to jump, and now black gets this. I wouldn't. Yes, and black plays here. Overall, it's a pretty solid game for black right now. White tries to invade here. Black defends. Nice. And now, if you guys can see, the entire top right corner is completely black's, and it's very hard for white to invade now. White is actually, black is actually winning at this stage. So white tries to invade and leave some aji behind. This group is definitely dead right now, but now white will have certain angles to probe here, right, and get some free moves here to help him invade the top side. I am not sure about this move by black. Generally speaking, this kind of move is bad when you are, unless you are aiming to kill the entire group. But I think it's very difficult to do. If I was white, I might have played something like this. So black can't really play here because can't really just Atari because white can make a call. And generally a call is great for black, because if you think about it, black can kill everything if he wins. But the problem is that white has a ton of call threats here. So it's almost impossible for black to win this call. And so I don't think black can, or white can even just play like this. I'm not sure if maybe this is better. Yeah, it's hard for black to just this move is this M17, which is not very good if black can't win the call. And now white can just jump out here. And black almost doesn't get anything, and white has a free move in the center. Yeah, so I think this is probably the first big mistake by black. I think black should have just done this and kept attacking. There is a ton of ways to attack this group. I think on the top side, these white stones, they're pretty much still in the tiger's mouth, right? Black can take these whenever he wants. There's many ways to kill it, and I think what black needs to do right now is try to attack the entire white group. Or maybe black plays here to save this, to completely get rid of the aji on the top. Yeah, this way black would be definitely winning. Let's see what white plays. Oh, white extends. Well, I guess I take it back. Now black is winning again. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this move as well by white, J18. I'm assuming this is black played. What black played? Yes, it is. Okay, so now at this stage, we can take a look just briefly. White managed to basically invade only a tiny part of black's territory, while now black has Sente, and he can come over and attack white's group on the middle easily now. And black has completely secured his corner and right side. So it looks like a really good game for black. I think black is probably at least ahead by 5 points. So let's see what black does. Oh, black goes here. Okay. Try to leave some aji. And here, interesting. I'm not sure about this move. G3. White can just cut like this. And now, black just sacrifices 2 stones for nothing. I think G3 has probably at least lost him 5 points, maybe 10 points even. I'm not sure why both players are not looking at the middle group and saying, is something wrong with this group? Like, hello? Can we attack this group or what? This white group is in danger. Yeah, I think G3 by black might even be the losing move, to be honest. I don't see anything good with this move. Even if you were to play tend to the corner, you should have played, black should have probably played something like this, right? But yeah, black should have just left it alone and try to attack the center. Center is the biggest place, right? The most important area of the board. So both players, I think they kind of left the key fighting area for a while, and and they both did. So they have an agreement, I guess. So overall, it just depends on. I think that whoever wins is probably the one that tended to put a move in the center first. So let's see. Okay, so white played here. Yeah, this is a great move. It pretty much makes the center safe, and now it's hard for black to attack. Yeah, black now seems desperate because he is not ahead in territory. He is ahead in thickness, but if you're ahead in thickness, you gotta make sure to cash it out somehow, right? These are potential, right? If you don't cash out on your potential, at the end of the game, they mean nothing. They don't translate into points. And in the end, we determine the game by points. So now it's too late for black to attack white. Way too late. And now, as black tries to attack white and tries to cash out on the potential on his influence, he realizes that his 4 stones are actually now sealed in by white. And now he has to be the one that's running. And what happens is that he lost his 4 stones, which is 15 points. And he still didn't manage to live in the corner, on the side. All black got from all of this exchange is about 10 points on the bottom side compared to maybe 30 points for white. So this exchange completely ruined the game for black. So again, right? Yeah, when you have initiative and you see a weak group, you should definitely try to attack first and try to cash in on your strength, right? Or on your opponent's weakness. Yeah, so this game is now over because of that. So I think black had a really good game in the beginning, and I really thought that he had a good chance, but he didn't manage to attack very well, and white just managed to get ahead after the mid game. All right, we can switch to the next game. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll do it quick. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, with Brady and Yongfei. Is that the one? Good. Yeah, I'm ready. All right. All right, let's look at the last game in the morning. Yongfei and Brady. They're both. I'm very familiar with both of them. We've been in Canada playing against each other for a long time, especially Yongfei. I've played at least a dozen games with him over the years. And Brady is my Vancouver teammate in AJ City League, so I also know his style very well. Oh, okay. We look at his game first? Okay, yeah, sure. Let's look at so we're looking at the Yongfei and Pei Chen game, Pei Chen Hsiong game. Okay. Okay, next. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I'll just go through Brady and Yongfei's game really quickly. I think their game is also a very very common Tetsuji and very common Joseki in the AI days. Black goes here and tries to get the ladder breaker, so white has to take it. Wow. It's a solid game for looks like a pretty solid game for white so far. Yeah, this entire game, I think white has a good control of the game so far. White is attacking every black group and making good use of his thickness on the right side. And yeah. I'm not too sure about the sequence here by white, though. Looks like white wasted a couple of moves here that I'm not sure why he did. Maybe he thinks he's leading by quite a bit. But looks like as white started to attack, right? Yeah, white is attacking well. But suddenly, but yeah, like as white is attacking, black kept not responding to white's moves. White's probes, like black got N2, and then white kept trying to attack, and black got another Sente alive here, and now black gets into white's little center thickness here, so now white doesn't have any points here as well. And look, and you see S11 as well. Black also got that. So it seems like as white is attacking, he kept missing out on things. Missing out on points. Let's look at the estimator. See how the game is. It's a very close game, though. Wow. Very close game. Yeah, I think white could have gotten a little more advantage in the middle. But still a very close game. Yeah, I'd say both sides are quite evenly matched for this game. Now white's winning a bit. I think it looks like black is leading, but then black couldn't convert. In the end, white's thickness was able to get some extra points in the middle. So if you look at here, I think black's invasion here is probably not a great move because white managed to do this and get this key S10. And he gets these two stones, which basically means that he's got a potential 4 points, so 2 points extra for him. And he got the Hane as well. So this game is a game of inches. I think the biggest difference between the two players at any time on the board is probably 5 points. And it's easy for us for one mistake to even be worth more than that, right? So yeah, this game is just a game of inches. It looks like in the end white won because he had a superior endgame, which fits my view of the two players quite well. I think Yongfei is a better early mid-game fighter, and Brady is a better endgame player. Yeah, solid game. All right, we can go to the afternoon game now. Yep. Sure, sure. No rush. Okay. Yeah. So guys, let's look at Yong Fei and Pei Chen's game in the afternoon. Yeah, in round 6. Yes. So their game actually looks like just finished, or they're pretty close to finishing. Um, let's take a look at their game. They played very fast, which is quite surprising. Maybe because I think they both lost in the morning, and so they definitely have something to prove. So I think they are probably playing with a set strategy in mind as well. Let's take a look. Oh, great. Yes. So Yang Fei is fifth and Pei Chen is sixth. So it's a very it should be a very close match. So this side of the board, the Joseki, is also very straightforward. So pretty much the only two answers that you see these days by players are either the F4 version or the E4 version. So it's either this or this. So white plays like this. Okay, interesting. So black goes here. So generally speaking, if white does not answer again, then black has the opportunity to play here. And this is a very solid shape for black, and he gets to basically take this entire corner territory for himself. And even though AI probably still thinks that this is an even game, for human players, it's the feeling, right? The feeling is the most important part. So how you feel. If you feel like you're leading, or if you feel like this shape is great, it helps your entire game, right? Because you're in a flow state, and you will play good moves when you're in a flow state. But yeah, when white plays 017, black is not gonna just ignore that move. So let's continue. A very simple Joseki. I think white playing K3 is a bit slow. I would have preferred here. So the official Joseki for this variation, well, maybe not official, but the most common one for white to respond is R3. So now black has several places that he can play. Generally, it'll be here. And now white can do this. And so this is a one Joseki. Another one is played here. And I believe, this is another one. So yeah, there's a lot of different Josekis that the variations that you can play here. So this is another one. White is not 100% completed alive on the corner yet. That's why black can tolerate this shape on the left. And now white can play something like this. And this is a very AI heavy gameplay. So a lot of times I would say, unless it's very top pros or very top players with a lot of AI experience and moveset memorized in their minds, generally we don't see this much. We only see this in top professional gameplay. Yeah, black. If white doesn't do anything, then black can play this. So I think maybe white is also thinking about these potential variations, and he thinks that he just wants to go here to keep the game stable, even, and avoid the complications, which is completely fine. But at this time, I think black has caught up on his black has definitely caught up on being the first player to play, because I think overall nowadays when you look at AI, you always see that white is ahead by 2 points in the beginning of the game, and this is the unfortunate disadvantage of taking black now these days. And it's even though it doesn't mean much to human players, I think it does start to matter when you get to a higher level. So I usually like to play as white as well. Interesting. So with this variation, I think white is going a bit too strong with this move here, with this extend. His thought process is probably that I want to drag out these stones so that black has to, defend, and white can get both sides of the board. And that would be a satisfactory result for white. But black will not just easily net the one stone here. Black will attack white, because now black has this P18 stone, and so black can attack the white corner more easily. And so now the white corner is not completely alive if it's completely surrounded. So now white has to go out. And if you look at the board now, black has built up his bottom territory. And it's quite big now. So white has to seek compensation somehow. So white tries to attack black. If white plays here, black can play here, or even here. And white can't really attack black anymore, because now black has one clear eye, and still he can keep going out, and there's another reserve eye here on the corner. So very difficult for white to attack black. So white goes more aggressive and plays here. Oh, I'm surprised by this move. Okay, I see what black is doing. So black cuts, and if white plays here, black can come out this way. And if you ask why can't white play here now, my answer is I'm not sure. I think it's better for white to push now, or push now. If black responds, then now black is in danger, because black cannot just kill the white's 3 stones easily. So let's go back. I think this push by white is a bit premature. So black captured these two stones. These were two white stones, and black is completely safe. And white gets to cut off this one stone, but white has already given a lot through these exchanges here. I think these are very costly exchanges. Black is not only alive, he is actually very thick now. And the problem with this thickness, if we look at it later on, is now he can let me go to the board here. So now black can go here, and it's very difficult for white to defend against this because black is so thick. So actually, if we look back on the whole variation, I think first move that black might have been a little too aggressive on is going here. I think the proper move is probably just netting this, and black is in a good spot because black got the right side, and black is very safe in the center. Black tried to be more aggressive, so white counterattacked, and it's a solid move actually. But I think white pushed on p12 too early, and now black is in a good spot again. Black goes back to defend his two stones. White plays at q2, a probing move. This probe is very solid. If you want to learn one thing, is that generally any probing move and any move on the second line, especially on the corner when there's a lot more of the opponent's stones than yours, a second line move is generally a pretty good move to probe, because no matter what black answers, white can get some aji. So now white can potentially live on the corner with a ko. If black plays here, then also it's pretty good for white. So let's see what black plays. Oh, black plays here. White just extends. Okay. The reason why white extends is that there's still the cut here on the R3. So black goes back, and white makes a good shape. So yeah, I think overall this game is still, black is definitely still winning now because of the top right side exchange. Black is thicker and has more points. So black is in a good spot. And as I said, I knew Yongfei would do this, would invade on the top side. Very strong moves. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, these are good sequence overall. I think both players played fine. White managed to live, but he lost his territory, and so now white is definitely in a rough spot because he doesn't have much territory, and black is thicker than him, so he has to try to invade. So this attach is a good move. This is also a solid move by black. I would have just played here, to be honest, but I can see why black played this. He played this to be able to get this hane on the b17. White cannot respond with this because now black can cut. And if white lives here, then black can take the center. So he wanted a free corner. So yeah, overall I think it's a solid play. And now black can come back and take care of his group on the left bottom corner. Interesting. I question this move. I think black should have just taken this. That would have been easier. This move here is not that big because if you think about it, white has not many points here, you know, maybe 10 in total. Even though it's a thick move, black now gets sente, and he can play something like this to defend his territory. Or black can go back and do what he did before. And, you know, black still gets the corner, and he can tend to his territory. So I think black would be leading at this point. I think going back, what his idea is that he still wants to potentially in the future cut off white on the left side. Okay, pretty solid. I'm not sure about black playing here. When black is thick, black should always try to fight, right? Try to use your influence, you know, with you use the influence correctly, right? Use the influence to gain an advantage. So I think the strong move would be pushing down. If white cuts, black just connects, and it's difficult for white to actually do anything. If this happens, then again, if you look at this variation, the difference between this and what probably happens here is now white is almost completely alive. And you don't want that as black, right? It kind of, it's like, it completely conflicts with the bottom, what happened in the bottom left side with extending out on b4. Is the whole point of doing that is so black has a potential way to attack white. Black does this. Yeah, this is not good sequence by black. Again, I think black overall, as I know him well, I think he is his when it gets to endgame, he's starting to slack a little bit. Yeah, black is leading slightly right now, but I think this move is quite problematic. All right, let's continue. And this move by black is also I'm not a big fan of. There's not that many points in the middle, and again, I would rather black extend here to make use of his influence. All this influence with black, it doesn't seem like he's getting that much if you look at what happened actually in the game. White gets to take this stone, and now white is very strong. Black has to now fix this peep. So this is what worries black, by the way, this is a very painful move. And this is, again, why I said this move is too slack. Because now it gives white the peep in the future. Yeah, this is a very worrisome sequence for black. So now black can't play here. Black plays here to fix. But the problem now is these two stones are potentially in tiger's mouth, and white is thick everywhere now. And white even gets sente. And what does white do with the sente? He goes in here to threaten to cut off black stones. And now black basically made 0 points with that many moves played in the center. Yeah, this is a disaster for black. If you look at the entire exchange, what happened is that white got both thickness and points. And all black got was a small corner broken and a small corner here. Now white is leading. Actually, white is not even leading yet. Oh, white is leading a little bit. Yeah, I think white is now um, up a pretty comfortable. Let me do a quick counting. Yeah, I think white is up probably at least a few points, maybe 3 to 5 points from the looks of this. At this level, these games are a game of inches, right? So even if you just make a 3 to 5 point mistake and near the end game, it's a huge difference maker, and it can just completely flip this game around. Hey, Chris, is this game over? Like, is this game finished or not? Yeah, the game I'm talking about. Now look, white wins, right? Yeah, yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, I'll go to the next game soon. I'll just do a conclusion. So yeah, I think this game, black is actually leading the whole way, from the top right corner, fight here. But the problem is that near the end game, black started to lose a bit of direction and not sure how to use his influence well, and that resulted in black ended up trying to basically not extending his strategy all the way to the end, and he kind of gave up on that in the middle, and that caused white to now gain almost 10 points in the center somehow, right? So when you're playing a game, you have to, even though sometimes it's good to be flexible, you still have to know when to use your advantage well. Yeah, and that's the problem with this game. Yeah, but overall, both players played well. I don't see many mistakes. Just the end game, and yeah, it's a game by inches. And yeah, this game ends up being white wins by resignation, but I think white is up by about 5 points. Yeah, sure. I will have a quick break. We'll probably take a minute break. Oh, yes. All right. I'm back. So let's look at the next game. In the last round, round six, between Do Kim and Brady Zhang. Yeah, both very strong players. I'm excited to look at their game. This game should go a long way because I think both players are very resilient and yeah, very well-rounded players. So I think it would be a waste if this it would be a waste if this game doesn't go to endgame. This is a very common shape on the left, top left and bottom right side. Black plays here. Okay, very solid shapes. So yeah, white has two choices. Either go this side, but then black gets the wider side of the exchange, and that's usually pretty solid for black. Or black gets the two space extension, and now white has to fix his group. So what white chose is to get the overhead, the top side. This is a very good way of fixing your own group. So now when it comes to here, white basically gets black completely on the the second and third line, and white fixes his own shape a bit, and he can keep attacking black. This is a quite an aggressive move by Brady. I think he wants to make use of his own influence. I'm not sure about white's cut here. I think the natural way would be to maybe do something like this. Extend. But if you extend, I guess, yeah, the problem is that now this move on J17 is a little bit in conflict with the rest of the stones. So it's not very smooth, or, So I think, personally, as white, I might have just gone with this. Or maybe I push a little bit. But yeah, it's difficult sequence right now for both sides to play. Let's continue. Yeah, the reason why I don't really like the cut is black gets to Atari here. And it's very painful for white because, again, if you look at now, white's shape is quite mangled up. And yeah, and white is not that thick anymore if you look at it. White has to exchange these two, which pretty much makes black quite strong. And this is not even a center move. And black now can jump out in the center. And if you look at the board now, white is now the one that's getting surrounded. Wow. Okay. White wants to desperately try to cut black. So what black did is do this. Interesting. So I think what black is looking for is if white plays here, black can play here. And it's a good shape for black. There's still this cut here, and now black can keep going out. And black has great shapes everywhere. And white still has a cut to fix. If this happens, then it's not good for white because, well, black can always cut off white like this. And white stone is in danger. So white doesn't respond first and plays here to create a ko. But at this rate, I think black is leading because black got the corner ko. And by not sacrificing too much here, and black can now even connect at the bottom. So overall, it's good for black. But overall, I think white still has white is not, losing a lot by a lot. It's just black got what he wanted, fixed all the shapes, all the groups, and ahead by territory. White tries to start getting more territory by going on P17 and then going to R12. Try to speed up the pace a bit, right? But white does have certain weak groups now on the top side, and this extension is quite wide, so black can aim to try to reduce this territory. So this move is quite interesting. These are good exchanges by black. So the reason why I say this is if black just goes back right here, now if black plays here, white doesn't have to respond, right? And if black plays here, white can play here. Maybe here. Yeah, it's the same. So what's wrong with this? Now black cannot connect at the bottom. White is not just going to play this again to let black do this later. So this is a good exchange by black, a good forcing move by black to ensure that he can get, he squeezed out all the benefits before he goes back and connect his groups. Wow, black really played all these moves. White take care of his group, black take care of his group. These are all very solid exchanges. So now at this point, I think black is still, I think, leading by a little bit because he has more territory. But white is not that far off either because black does have a group in the center that doesn't have eyes. And if white comes here, right, black has to run this way, and white has moved here to try to surround black. So overall, I think it's still a relatively even game.
Very exciting. White goes here to try to force black to go back to the center. So generally speaking, what this move wants to do is if black doesn't play here, doesn't respond, white can play here. And now black's corner is in danger. There's not even two eyes. And white can start a call. And overall, just getting this stone is very good for white. So what black can respond with is either here or here to stop this from happening. Generally speaking, black would want to play here. But then now white has this move, which is quite annoying for black to deal with. This is not what black wants, because now the center is dead. So what black actually played is very interesting. So he peeps here and tries to attack white first. This makes a lot of sense because what black is trying to do is, he doesn't like the two variations I showed to protect his corner. And he wants to gain the initiative by attacking white. Wow. Very strong. So let's take a look at it again. So white definitely has to go down. If white doesn't, this is way too big for black. This is the difference between this and this. Too big. Sometimes there are moves that you just have to play. Even if you see that it may not be completely viable or you're not sure, it's in the heat of the moment, you just have to play it, right? Or else you feel like you've lost. And this is one of these moves. So now white is left with two choices here. This is the first one. There's a call. And I think white may not have liked this option because black does have a lot of call threats here on the bottom left corner. So white went with the second option, which is this, Atari here. Black actually cuts. Wow. So white cannot just go here because now black can take the one stone and white group is dead. White is dead. So white has to connect back. And now black basically got what he wanted. He managed to connect his stones and destroy white's territory. So it's a success for black. If you look at this entire sequence, we can kind of realize that, yeah, black did pretty well. But again, I say this game is still very complicated and quite even because black now has to spend time to fix his own group, while white managed to, even though black protects his corner, white is very thick now here as well, and he gets the potential 3 stones that he can always take. And now he can come back to here and attack black, keep attacking black. But again, I think this is what Kim wants, right? I think he is a good player when it comes to saving his own groups, like dancing on the knife's edge while while keeping his territory very stable and even ahead, right? He likes to play this kind of game. And Brady attacks here. This is a solid move to destroy Black's eye. These are all great forcing moves. But again, in the end, right, we see that Black still doesn't have two eyes, and he is now White got these forcing moves, and so now Black doesn't have any influence here, and White can keep attacking when he wants. So overall, I'd say it's a success for White, but Black is still in a good spot because his territory is still slightly better, I think. But I think overall, White has done well to attack. I'm not sure what Black should have done differently. maybe Black should have just played here right away instead of pushing. We can see that Kim is really confident in his ability to make eyes. Wow. And now Black goes back after doing these force moves. So the reason why Black did these forcing moves is to, again, reduce White's territory and leave a little bit of Aji on the right side. Looks like White is in Byoyomi. That's why he's playing a lot of these moves to try to spend try to get more time to think. So at this rate, this game is, let me see. I think overall, White is. I think this game comes down to how we do on the center bottom side. If White can get a little more, gain a little more stuff, in points or whatever, by forcing Black to defend. And if White can get us some more points here, then I think White can actually win this game. So let's see how Brady does. Okay, so White ends up. This game ends up just being like this. Okay. Pretty even game still. Let me do a quick count. Looks like Black is ahead by a little bit. I could be wrong, but looks like yeah, it does look like Black is ahead by a little bit because it's now Black's turn. But it's still a really close game, and it depends on how they play their endgame, especially how they settle in the middle side. Oh, actually, these three stones are are potentially Whites, so it's actually closer than I think it is. It's a very close game, actually. Yeah, okay. I guess we can come back to this later. We can go to the last game, the potential championship game. Yeah. Okay. Oh. Sure. Hello guys, I'm back. So let's look at the most important game are the champion game, the championship game. For this last round. So Leo is currently undefeated. Black, he's playing black, and Ivan Lowe is, I believe, he is 3-2. So he's just trying to play spoilers, and if he wins, then definitely there will be some very interesting tiebreakers because there will be a lot of 4-2s, and also yes, and potentially 2 5-1s, right? So it'd be very interesting. And yeah, so let's start. I think if you really wanted to be the undisputed champion, you gotta win all your games. So Leo definitely wants to do that. Look, it looks like Leo is very familiar as black to play this move on R8. So this R8 move, he's played. I believe he has played against Do-hyuk Kim on the second round as well. And what they did, I believe, was White actually tried to avoid this shape by playing here. So they ended up playing this. So this is from what I remember their game to be. You can go back and check. I'm pretty sure I'm right. So this is very this is also just a very even game. Even though I do believe that White probably should have played this instead. And this is a very yeah, and this would have been a very solid game. Yeah. Oh, hey Chris, can you mute? I think I'm hearing you a lot, very loudly. So yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry. Okay, I'll keep going. Again, so I think Leo is very familiar with this shape, and even he may be trying to trick his opponents because this is a relatively uncommon move. Generally, Black would play this, right? This is very common, or Black would play this, right? This is definitely an AI move. It's seen more popularity since AI. Everybody started using AI to study, and so White played here. Ivan played here. This is probably the most uncommon, or not uncommon, but most complicated variation. So I would suggest that if you're White and you see this, and you don't want to play into something that's complicated, you can play this. And this is, yeah, as I said, this is probably the easiest way to dodge, to get out of a complicated Joseki. So what did White play? White played here. So this is the most complicated Joseki because Black will play p5. And White is unwilling to play here because this just feels really good for Black. Even though I think this is still pretty even, still. But generally, if you're at this point, you gotta be able to fight. So what did White do? White extended down. And this becomes complicated. So White plays here. This is a very this is the strongest move. and this is also what AI recommends. So looks like both players got their AI sekis down, AI josekis. So this is all as expected. And so the reason why this is an insanely good move, by the way, a very, very good move as part of the Joseki, but it's a very good move, I think. It's a genius move, in fact, because the reason why black exchanges this is so that now when white plays here, black can connect. And now white has no way of capturing black. And white is in trouble. If black doesn't exchange this, white can play here, and if black plays here now, it's too late. Or sorry, it's too late. So this exchange is very important for black to start. Anyways, this is all part of the AI Joseki, so we can continue. Well, let's. So the correct way for white, correct play for white is to take this stone, and we end up in this shape where it's most likely a seki, where both sides are are alive, or you go into a ko, and both sides can accept this outcome because black has a very strong group on the right side, and white has a pretty strong group on the bottom left side. Yep, so white extends, and this is a very even game. And both sides let this be because it's not that big anymore. If you think about this, this is 10, 20 points, and it could be a ko, right? It could be a seki, and there's a lot of bigger moves in the rest of the board. And these two groups does not affect the other groups because the outside are very thick. This is a very interesting move by black. It must be AI move again. So Leo has this all figured out. White plays here to invade on the top side. This is a solid exchange. And now if you look at this move by black, it's a very great move to play anyways, right? In this shape. And it really helps to tend to his wall thickness on the bottom. So it means this entire group on the right side is very efficient. And in Go, you want to be efficient to make your points, right? Make as many points as you can with the least number of moves possible. And that's how you win a game. But this game is still very even up until now. White plays here because white is scared of black's influence. But I do think that I would probably, if I were white, I would probably play this instead. Go a bit deeper. So this will be a bit more difficult for black to answer because the next move I play, let's say black doesn't play anything, ignores the move. Now white can jump in, and this will be a lot more painful for black than if white played this and decides to jump in here. Because now black can easily still get most of the territory. If white plays here, now black has to go on the second line, and that is not what someone with all the influence wants to do. So yeah, this is the one move I would play differently, but I'm not saying it's a bad move on its own. Just a little bit more, calm. Black plays here, and white plays this. Okay. So my first thought looking at this move is that it's a little bit slow. I think what white is afraid of. So my first instinct would be to play here as white. Maybe what white is afraid of is this. But I don't think this is a big problem for white right now because white can just do this and there's not a problem, right? White can cut, right? White has many ways to cut. And if black goes back, white can just connect. And even though white sacrificed these small points, 5-6 points here, white gets a new wall, and black still has this cut. And now white can, jump out, and it has a good shape here. Maybe jump out here, or play here, or jump in, right? White has many choices. So black wouldn't want to, black wouldn't want to invade here right away. Instead, maybe what black wants to do later is to probe here to get some Aji. But overall, I wouldn't be too worried about this as white. And that's why, right, when white played here, I think white should have already thought about what would he do if black plays here. If white is scared of this, then maybe white should play here instead. Should play L3 instead of L4. So going back at M3, I think is quite a slow move. And that's probably the first mistake that I see, a questionable move that I see from both sides. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this move. So with this change, black knows that he gained, not a lot, but he definitely gained something from this exchange. So now he can go to the corner to try to take some territory. And that is the biggest point of the board. Again, we have 4 corners in Go, and most of the time, if you don't see any big spots, then you go to the empty corners because they are the biggest. So white goes here. Again, this is the reason why I think potentially this move is a little bit too soft. Now white has still a cut. White could be cut here by black. And white doesn't really threaten black in any way. And when black plays here, white still needs to spend a move to fix this, because this 2-space jump in front of a very strong wall by black is very dangerous for white. So let's see what white does next. White fixes. Okay, makes sense. And now black gets all the big points. So overall, I still don't think it's a really bad game from white. I just think that black is thick right now and a bit easier to play. Because again, white has a lot of groups that are, kind of a bit fragile, right? So now black gets the seki here. Very nice exchange. This is a seki in sente, and black goes here. So now, basically, white spent how many moves? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. White spent 4 moves. While black got how many moves? 1, 2, 3. Black got 3 moves on the outside, and white spent 4 moves to completely get rid of the moyo the influence from black. Is it worth it? I think overall, I would definitely be happy as black. At this stage, I would say black is probably ahead by a little bit, maybe 3 to 5 points. So it's not a lot, but in a game like this, it's quite a bit. So let's continue. White fixes this. This is how you fix the corner, by the way. Any other fix is not as good as this one. If you play here, if white plays here, black can still attach at 3-3 to invade. Black must think that he is doing pretty well, so he goes back here. It's a pretty slow move, to be honest, but I can understand what black is thinking. He thinks he's ahead in territory, and if he becomes thicker, then he can attack these 4 white stones again. And yeah, he just wants to play slow and steady when he's gained a slight lead. So I can understand why he played this. But if I was black, I might have played something different. I think I would have played an attack here to attack the white stones. So now, because it's white's turn, understandably he played here. So why he played here is that he knows that he doesn't want to just jump out here. If he jumps out here, black can get every move that white spends to run out. Black gets more things here on the right side or on the top side. No matter what it is, white is enforcing black's territory, and white is not getting much. So, and there's a good strategy when you want to sometimes defend is to attack the opponent. So this is what white did, is to play here. But I guess we're not sure if this works yet. So that's the problem. So black chose the strongest way of answering because he thinks that white is not alive, right? On the right side, on the top right side. So he must think that white is gifting him these stones. But white is playing also very strongly, so he tries to escape, and then jump out here. So basically, what white is doing is that he's trying to get everything out. So it's a very strong strategy. He's daring black to attack. Wow. Okay, interesting. I think this cold timing is very good by white. But I'm not sure about how black answered this. I think this move is... I'm not sure about this move by black. I probably would have pushed here and tried to find code threads here, or maybe done this to try to get a legit code thread. It's really hard for white to kill this black group. Just there's so much agi here. So, and black gets the corner. So I think that would be good for black, and white would be very in danger here. So yeah, I wouldn't let this code be won by white so easily, because now
White is completely alive on the top, so he doesn't have to worry about his group. And now he can come back and to try to get rid of Black's Moyo here. Although this move, I'm not so sure. I might have done this. Maybe White is scared of Black doing this. But I think I'm not sure if Black would like this variation. So I think White should probably try to protect a little bit of the corner because it does look like Black can make something, make some agi here, and or try to invade here directly. So I'm not sure about this jump. It seems a bit soft, like as if White is ahead, but I am not. I really don't think White is ahead right now. And now Black gets the biggest move, and it's a sente. Oh, and or White could also do this. So this is the common shape for White to play. The reason why this is really good as a sente is because now it's much now Black cannot basically White benefited from playing this set versus the earlier version because now Black cannot connect here, right? So White basically made a point for free by playing this variation, and now White doesn't even have to play here. White can play somewhere else because this group is this is very strengthened, right? White can play here instead of playing here. So overall, I think White should have chose. This is a good opportunity for White to play that variation. Now Black gets this, and White still has to defend, and Black is in a very happy, very good spot. And as I thought, Black tries to invade. To be honest, I'm not sure about this exchange by Black. I think Black could have just try to play for win. Maybe even this is enough for Black to win, or cut off the center. Not too sure about this yet, but just look. Yeah, I think Black is winning by 5 points or so right now. So Black doesn't have to force this this exchange so hard, but maybe he thinks that he's not really happy with White not spending a move here to defend, so he wants to punish it. And this exchange is maybe he was expecting White to play here, so now he has a forcing move, right? And he can play here. And White stones are in danger. And this is why White plays here. He doesn't want to give up the 5 stones so easily, right? Because White is in a losing position, so he wants to play the strongest move he can. This exchange is all very normal. White plays here. Yeah, so with this exchange, I think Black is kind of dragging himself into a hole. Even though Black's corner is a ko, there's a lot of he basically made this corner a lot larger. So when he dies, he's gifting away 10 extra points versus the earlier corner if he just reduces the corner. And White gets these 2 moves, and potentially this move even. And now Black's territory is not safe at all. So now Black has to make sure that he gets compensated for potentially losing this ko. So if you're wondering why this is a ko, this is the move that Black can play to get the ko. If Black plays here, this is a very common shape where maybe I think a lot of beginner players that start off learning Life and Death will be familiar with this shape. This is basically, this is very, not completely dead because Black has this,
But then black is sacrificing more and more of the outside. And so when he's basically forced to increase the stakes of this call. And that is not good for the winning party. So the correct move for black is to extend on a15. And white can go in here to create this call. And now black connects. I think this is probably the first big mistake I see from black. Yeah, I'm not, I'm obviously not 100% here, but generally speaking, when you have a call and there is an option for one side to step back, but then when he steps back, it's not like this problem is solved. And instead, now when black wins the call, the outcome of winning is actually worse for black. You wouldn't want to play a move to step back and give the opponent a breather. So this is what's happening with this call. Is that black could just keep playing this call, find a call threat, right? And take the stone. And maybe, let's say white jumps out or something and black wins. Winning this call is much better than later on. And if black wins the call like this. Why is it much better? Because now white gets this sente move. If black plays here, white can invade much easily with a stone on the first line. So I think black stepping back is a mistake. White has options, right? And so now if I were white, I would actually think about jumping out. Because I think it's very difficult for white to win this call. And now black has to play here. And if you guys can see, white still has the sente, right, to eat the two stones. And that is always welcome for white. And now white can keep jumping out. Even though black got the territory, right? Black broke through white's territory. You have to remember that black is hurt on all sides. Not only on the left side, but also on the top side. If black defends his territory here, white has several moves. Black is not alive here yet. White can play here, and black is dead if the middle is surrounded. So again, I think this exchange by black on the corner is not great because it's affecting his thickness elsewhere. And white basically just managed to save all of his 5 stones, and he gets some influence in the middle, and he gets to reduce black sides. So if this happens, let me see. I think the game is a lot closer. Yes, white actually might be winning at this rate because black lost a lot of potential points here and here, and potentially these 5 stones. And all black got was 7 points here, and white got potentially here, and a lot more. And white is a lot thicker now. So this thickness near the end game or middle and end of middle game is very, very important for the last stage of the game. All right, let's go back. So what did white do? But to be honest, if I was playing in the heat of the moment, I probably would have kept playing this ko. Okay, this is what white did. So this is what happens when you're actually playing the game versus when you're not. When you are in a momentum, it's just like a roller coaster. You will keep playing or keep forcing moves and playing the same variation in your head. Because it's just like a train, right? It's not easy to stop when you are the one driving. But it's easier for a spectator to be like, oh, why not just stop? So let's see. Okay, so this move is definitely not a good move. So again, white is trying to look for ko threats to help him win this ko. But as I said, I think this ko, winning this ko is not the key to winning this game. And I'm worried that white will spiral into trying to win this ko and sacrificing too much to win this ko. Let's see if this is what happens. So white plays here. This is already not a great move because again, now black is more alive in the center or in the top. All the ko threats that we talk about are kind of are not great exchanges, right? These all cost you points, right? And black plays here. Okay, this move again, I don't like this. I think black should just look for ko threats elsewhere. Because again, if you look at this shape, white cannot clear. It's hard for white to white still has to answer this because this is really, really big. This is way more than 20 points. But I can understand, I guess I can understand why black plays here. So he can secure his group. And this shows again, right, why white's move here is not necessarily a great move. Yeah, so basically I think this ko overall is just not that big. And whoever can turn his attention away from this ko will gain an advantage. So, okay, yeah, so as I predicted, white is going all in on this ko. These are all very, very, very hard moves, very tough moves to play. Why? Because every single move you're losing points. You're giving opponent more points. Now black has a lot more leeway to do what he wants. So black pushes. Okay, this is a good move now. If white takes this, what would happen now? So what would white do? Let me think. Maybe go here? No, just go here. Black takes this side. And now white maybe will try to get out here. But overall, I still think black is in a good spot because of how much he gained on the right side. So at this rate, black would be up by quite a bit because the right side, what he gained on the right side is completely overcompensates what he lost on the top left side. Because again, if you look at it, white pretty much just made 15 points, but he already had 10 points to begin with, and black is alive on the top, alive on the left side, didn't lose much here. Even if black lets white go, white doesn't get any moyo in the center, and black gets more than 20 on the right side. So I hope this is not what white played. Oh, this is what white played. White took it. And white played here. Okay. Okay. So this is what white did. Oh, okay, I see. So this is a good move by white. If white plays here, black can play here. what happens now? White has 2 cuts that he has to worry about. And he cannot connect this side because now white is dead. So white has to connect here. And white just lost. White just gave black 20 points. So what white did is play here first. And this basically lets white do this. I'm surprised that black doesn't play like this. Then it will probably be a ko of some sort inside. And I guess black's worry is that, black thinks he's winning, right? So he doesn't have to force this hard. And that makes a lot of sense. So black takes the profit of these 2 stones and, thickness, and he can keep attacking on Sente, with Sente. So again, even though white gets back these 2 stones, black gets Sente and is still ahead by, I think, quite a bit. Yeah, ahead by probably 10 points. So black can keep attacking now and punish white's weakness. So again, if you look at this before, it was white's territory. White spent quite a number of moves. Here, to establish his points here. But now the problem is black, by forcing white and attacking white's group in the center, he can now easily invade white's middle points and erase them. Wow. So black gets the 2 stones. And yeah. Interesting. And because there's still a cut here, whoops, not this. Because there's still cuts here. So let me see how we can cut. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of different ways. Yeah, so basically white is not completely alive here. That's why he spent a move to do this, to guarantee an eye. If he doesn't do that, and let's say white goes back and fixes this cut, black has a potential Sente here. And then this is a fake eye. And white actually may be completely dead. So yeah, basically there's a lot of ways to kill white here. So white has to spend another move to fix. So what white did is a pretty genius, pretty smart, and he tries to complicate the situation by playing this move. So what he's saying is that I want this eye, and I also want to threaten the ko here. But again, this is not the most favorable ko for white because black doesn't lose much except for territory. And white loses a lot if black connects here. And that puts white in a potentially precarious situation again. And black has many ko threats on the outside. Again, black is very thick. And black can afford to give up this and just play 2 moves on the left side to guarantee his victory. So white obviously cannot start this ko right now. So white tries to connect, and he loses his 5 stones. This is why I stressed so much about the top left corner as not that big. White got his 15 points but black got 5 stones, which is 10 points already. And he's managed to save all of his left side. And he still got the 2 stones. So overall, this entire fight is extremely winning for black. And to be honest, at this point, I think it's game over. Yeah, it's very difficult for white to win now. And white tries to fight the last coal, and with the peep as a potential cold threat, but black just didn't answer and tries to keep this winning game until the end. So yeah, this game is probably over, but we can definitely still come back and check for it. You never know when a game is truly, you should never give up, right? And there's still a lot of plays left on the board. Yeah. So I guess we can go back to the next to the other board. Which is Brady and Kim. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, awesome. So the game is over. Okay, I didn't look at it. Oh, okay. I resigned. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. Okay. Pretty good, Brady. Okay. Yeah, this is what I expected to. Okay. So I'll just wrap this up then with Brady's game. So we got to here at the end. So I think I honestly I looked back a little bit and I thought about it a bit after I reviewed this game, and I think black played some really slow moves that caused his lost endgame. So the one move that I was very iffy about, or I'm not so sure about, is this connection. And I think this connection potentially is a game-losing connection move. I think black can play a lot stronger moves here. Maybe running out here, doing this. Basically, black is now, and at least connecting back the 3 stones, right? I don't think black is in a spot to celebrate his connections just yet. And I think white played really well. Without these moves, black just connecting back, white gets the sente, and he gets to play all the endgame moves he wants. He basically got the